After a successful World Cup where there definitely wasn't any human rights issues, it's now time for the FIFA presidential election. While Mr. Gianni Infantino was originally running unopposed, some jackass wrote in Danny T Radio for the writing candidate. And because of a counting error, I am now the president of FIFA. And I say it's time for some changes. First thing I'm doing, I'm fixing the handball rule. Yeah, I know, I've already talked about it before in this channel, but I'm gonna keep talking about it because the rule is broken. Nothing annoys me more than hearing phrases like intent or ball to hand or, natural positioning. It's all ridiculous because who's to say what one's natural positioning is when jumping in the air surrounded by other players? It's all subjective, except for extreme examples like Luis Suarez versus Ghana in 2010 or Hand of God by Maradona. Pretty much every handball can be classified as non-intentional. So this argument of was it a handball, was it not a handball, it's gotta stop because no answer will ever please everyone. So I say, stop making the rules so damn convoluted. Okay, here's a simple solution. Everything elbow and down, handball. No matter what. That's not fair. What if the player can't react fast enough? Too bad. Handball. I don't care what position it's in. If it hits elbow or down, it's a handball. And yes, I do realize that would have screwed over the USMNT with Shaq Moore's handball against Iran. But that's where I stand. I am tired of this ever-expanding gray area that is a handball.
Yeah, if you thought this video was gonna have a bunch of research, sorry. I just wanted a bitch.
Next change. If you get fouled in the box, then you take the PK. Yup, no more of this designated PK taker. I swear, every time there's a close race in the Golden Boot, without fail, you will hear someone say, oh, well, he just won because he took more PKs. Okay, well, if he now has to earn the PK, what's the complaint gonna be then? Oh my God, can you imagine the drama? Last remaining moments, you need a goal, and then your left back of all people gets hacked down inside the box, and now the guy that's never taken a PK before in his life, the game comes down to him? That's Hollywood, baby. You can't write a better script than that. But what about a handball? Easy. It's the last offensive player to touch the ball. But what if there's an injury? Okay, well, the player has to take the PK. The only exception is if he has to be subbed off. But then in that situation, the player being subbed on, the guy on the bench, has to take it. But what if a team used all of its subs and then there's an injury? Well, I don't know, then maybe the team gets like one last emergency sub for situations like this. I don't know, I didn't think all these through, okay? Screw it. I'm bringing back the Confederations Cup. Why did they get rid of it in the first place? Because they wanted to expand the Club World Cup? What's the correlation there? Why can't you do both? Listen, I agree that the Club World Cup needed to be revamped. I mean, a 7-team single elimination tournament, yeah, that was pretty lame. I mean, 24 teams or 32 teams, however many they decide, every 4 years, yeah, I can get behind that. Let me draw this out for you because it's really not that hard, okay? 4-year cycle, we'll say the first year starts in 2026. That is going to be the World Cup. Year 2, 2027. That is going to be the Club World Cup plus the Women's World Cup. 2028, year 3. That is going to be all of the Confederation tournaments. Yep, we're moving them all to the same year. I'm talking Euros and Copa America and Gold Cup and AFCON. All of them on the same year. Oh, but that's too much. That's not going to work because no one's going to want to watch the Gold Cup when Euros are on at the same time. No, That's not going to be an issue, okay? Because the calendar year is 12 months long. We'll move some shit around to make it fit. Then 2029, year 4 of this 4-year cycle, the Confederations Cup, aka the best appetizer to the World Cup, which is happening the next year. Now, I hear you, okay? Oh, but no one cared about the Confederations Cup. That's because we didn't treat it like a major tournament, which is crazy to me because you had to qualify for it, for God's sakes. What's that? 8 teams not enough? Because not enough of the world is going to be interested in that? Well, okay, fine. We can expand it to 16 teams. Yeah. Have the Nations League winners come along too, if that's still going to be a thing. The point is, the Confederations Cup was not celebrated enough. And I am going to make it big. And I'm going to make sure people care about it. All right. Time for one more change. My most diabolical move yet. And if I haven't killed off the beautiful game yet, this might do it. 0-0 draws, or nil-nil draws, count as 0 points for both teams.
What?
That's right. A scoreless draw essentially counts as a loss for both teams. Oh, you want to bunker down? You want to park the bus? You want to steal a point away? That's too bad. Because if you want that point so bad, you're going to have to score a goal first. Listen, this rule is not to please you. Because I understand that you understand the game. You know that a scoreless draw can still be enthralling. But I am president of FIFA now. I am a corrupt man now whose only goal in life is to make as much money as I can. And that means winning over the people who aren't soccer fans yet. And what is the number one complaint of those that don't watch soccer? They think the game is boring. And they think that with their tiny little insignificant brains that the game is boring because there's not enough scoring. So now with this new amendment, it is going to force teams to be a little more desperate, a little more daring from the beginning because they know they need a goal. And I promise you, with this new rule, that first goal is going to feel even more orgasmic. Oh, but what about the goalkeepers? The ones that stood on their heads for that shutout? The ones that made 10 saves? Do their contributions mean nothing? No, not in this scenario. Yeah, sorry goalkeepers, you drew the short end of the stick here. And I understand you might be mad, but if you would, please direct your anger towards the rest of your team for not doing their job and putting the ball in the net. And I know this rule would not eliminate all nil-nil games, but I guarantee you would see the number of them drop. Obviously, this was all hypothetical, and obviously, all of these changes would present numerous issues, but in general, these are changes that I would like to see in soccer. So I'm curious, what did you think about my proposed rule changes? And also, what changes would you make if you were president of FIFA? I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm Danny T Radio, and I approve this message.